What's up, everybody? My name is OMG WTF LLF to WBRB. Welcome back to more WWE versus Total Extreme Wrestling, the series where we take the weekly shows, events that the WWE runs, and book them into the game to see just how well WWE does against TEW, or if TEW will be the company to bring WWE to its knees. We are booking the... Oh, boy. Forget it. I don't even care about the dates. We're booking the O2 Arena, the England edition of Smackdown. Once we, are all caught up, which, by the way, after this episode of Smackdown, we are officially caught up to the WWE, so it'll be easier for me to keep the dates in my head. But nonetheless, we've got a handful of matches here tonight. In fact, we got one match that might prove to be a bit of a problem for the series, but I'm going to let you guys decide on this in the comments section. But we'll get to that when we get to that. I don't have a lot of time here, so we're just going to jump right into this. We have a freestyle segment to open up the night, just a look back at the feud between AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura, from their WrestleMania bout to, Shinsuke's heel turn to the Greatest Royal Rumble to Backlash to all the way up to pretty much where we are now. So it's pretty much hyping the fact that they will be fighting each other tonight. So not too bad for the rating there. Still in the O2 Arena, still in England. By the way, I found out that Greenwich is in London, so I guess it's like a city or, I don't know, something like that in that area. We also get more hype for the fact that we will indeed see Styles versus Nakamura tonight. 71 B- for that. It's interesting to see how this did better than the other one. But maybe it's because this was a minute and the other one wasn't. I don't know. Before we jump into our opening angle of the night, which gets a 53 C-, Renee Young welcomes Daniel Bryan as he comes out. The crowd is just completely all in on Daniel Bryan, chanting for him and all that. So I'd imagine that alone would have gotten this a better rating. But unfortunately, you can't judge that in there. So Bryan comes out. He cuts a pretty generic promo. And then, he's pretty upset by the loss from Rusev, but he goes on to say that he will, be the WWE World Champion again one day, before being interrupted by Big Cass, who comes out and pretty much is insulted that Daniel Bryan refers to, Rusev's victory as his first major setback because he views himself as Bryan's first major setback. He gets into the ring with Bryan. The two brawl. Bryan completely decimates Big Cass. Like, he makes Big Cass look like his bitch. And that ends off the segment there. 53 C- for the opening segment. Renee Young was very underwhelming. Unfortunate for her. Renee Young gets rated. Dasha Fuentes and Kathy Kelly and I forget the name of the other girl. There's another one. They never get rated in their backstage segment because they're only, required to do like one line, like, "Oh, Finn, what was your reaction to your loss tonight?" And then Finn Balor or whoever's doing the interview would completely take over the interview pretty much. Whereas Renee Young actually goes back and forth with the people, so I actually rate her on like microphone and all that. So she's rated here, so it's just how WWE books it, so that's how I'm going to have to do it. Daniel Bryan looked good. It did lose heat for the feud between him and Big Cass. 48 D+ as once again Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles is hyped, but also the New Day versus The Bar is up next. And that'll be a Money in the Bank qualifier where the winning team gets to choose which member of their team gets to go into the Money in the Bank ladder match. Miz joins commentary for the upcoming match between the New Day and The Bar, getting better at his gimmick as well. The match itself gets a 54 C-. Wow. This England tour is really hitting us right now, I think, because, again, popularity might not be as up in England as it is over in America, so I imagine this would have done a lot better if we were over in America, but WWE reaps what it sows, That's what happened in the Greatest Royal Rumble despite us not being in Saudi Arabia. I should have, checked before I did the whole English thing, but whatever. 54 C- for the match. Decent wrestling, but not much weighing heat. The New Day, which was Big E and Xavier Woods, go over The Bar in 10 minutes and a second after Xavier Woods beats Cesaro with the Midnight Hour. I don't know if that's what it's called, but he hit him with the, springboard elbow or something, pretty much, where he does, he walks on the ropes like Undertaker does in Old School and then jumps off with an elbow. Kofi Kingston did some good work at ringside. Miz's announcing was pretty weak. He was on the announce team. He replaced Corey Graves because he's the heel, so just makes sense. Big E had an in-ring performance of a 51. Xavier Woods with a 45, so the weakest of the four. Sheamus with a 56, the best of the four, and Cesaro with a 53. So not only did the Bar and New Day storyline advance, I'm not sure if that's ended here, but it advanced. But the men's Money in the Bank advanced as well, because Miz was on commentary, and I just put Xavier Woods in there because, well, he's the one that got the victory, so. By my logic, he should be the one in the Money in the Bank ladder match, but they'll probably put Big E in, is my guess. Sheamus is improving in performance as well. 100 A-star for our pointless commercial break. Thank you, John Cena, for always doing what you do best. Why is it always rated 100 A-star? Is he really that great on entertainment? 59 solid C rating here for more hype for the Shinsuke Nakamura AJ Styles match. I'm surprised this got a 59 C minus because the New Day segment with, AJ and Shinsuke did worse than this, but this one had Carmella in it, but it did better, so there you go, Carmella. 38 D minus for the Harper Rowan promo. I don't know. I named it the Bludgeon Brothers warning to the Smackdown tag team division. They just pretty much, talk about brotherhood and friendship and stuff like that is going to be no use against them and how they want to challenge. So, Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso were highlighted. Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows were highlighted. The New Day was highlighted, but in order to avoid the feud between the Bar and... Actually, now that I think about it, it wouldn't have continued. For some reason, I thought if this would have continued if I put the Bar in there. But the Bar wasn't in here, so I don't know why. I thought that. Nonetheless, it doesn't matter. 38 D minus for the promo. 43 solid D for the segment where Paige brings in... Or she's on the phone with Carmella at first saying, no, you can't come in with a horse-ridden carriage. And then Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville walk in, so she goes in and talks to them. Mandy's like, oh, so I'm in the Money in the Bank ladder match now, which Paige is like, no, you're not, but, you're going to have a match tonight for a qualifying match. And Mandy's like, who am I going to fight? And then she says, well, you're going to fight Becky Lynch. And then Sonya Deville's like, well, she gets a match and I don't. She goes, no, you're going to get a match too, actually, tonight. And then Sonya's like, well, who do I fight? She goes, Becky Lynch. And then they think it's going to be a handicap match, and she goes, no, it's going to be a triple threat match. And there you have that, triple threat for a spot in the women's ladder match. The storyline moved along here as well, because, of course, Becky Lynch and I believe Sonya Deville I put in there. Who cares, really? And I also started a storyline between Paige and Absolution, because that's what it seems like they're going with right here, is kind of been the theme. So this probably should have started like 2 weeks back, but I just started picking up on it now. Solid 60C for the AJ Styles interview with Renee Young about Shinsuke Nakamura. Pretty much just talking about how there's no if he wins tonight, that he is going to win tonight, and he's going to, pick their stipulation and whatever. Lost heat for the feud. Surprisingly, Renee Young, not underwhelming here. Oh boy, this did great. 13 F+ for the debut of Andrade Cien Almas. Can only imagine what the freaking match itself is going to be. Got a jobber in it, so holy shit, okay, here I am talking shit, and I'm thinking it's going to be a horrible rating, and it gets a 37 D minus, so I guess that's just, Andrade's, he's a good in-ring performer, I guess, so there you go. 37 D minus for Andrade's debut match. Terrible matchup. Andrade goes over Jake Constantino, who is played by Jake McCluskey. Again, not sure if that's really who played him. That's just who I picked. He beat him in 2 minutes, 7 seconds with La Sombra. I don't know if that's what they call that running knee move, but that's what he did to him. Luckily for me, Andrade Cien Almas and Selena Vega are a good pairing. They play off well. I'm not sure if that's The Who doing his job and making sure that... and I don't know if it's The Who's fault, because I believe there's, supposed to be testers and all that in here, so it's a lot more than The Who, but still... it shows that, the moderator, whoever was working on this, either A, they did make them have good chemistry, or I just got lucky. I just know in Brendan Plays. If you guys watch him, he's probably one of the only Total Extreme Wrestling YouTubers I watch right now. And it's not as much because the videos are super long. It's mostly just while I'm actually booking shows for like Invasion or just by myself for my own personal series. But nonetheless, in his series that he just started doing with the the 2018 stuff, Andrade and Selena Vega did not work well with each other. I think so did like Peyton Royce and Billy Kay and some other people. So, nonetheless, color commentary helped this out. Did cool the crowd. Jake Constantino with a 22 in-ring performance. So, okay, that's actually not too bad for considering his popularity probably. Andrade with a 43 in-ring performance. Constantino made the best of his appearance or performance or whatever. Made the best of his appearance. I said it right the first time. It's improving in rumble, technical, flying, and performance skills. So there you go, Jake. Hopefully you get some work now. 27 solid E rating for Selena Vega, pretty much hyping up Andrade and claiming that they're here to take over SmackDown. There you have that. 54 C- as we get a backstage segment with Rusev and Aiden English. I guess Aiden like set up like this whole Rusev Day. I don't think it was a party, but it was like some like just mural maybe. I don't know. Rusev is like, oh, you outdid yourself, and Aiden English, then goes over. He's like, oh, I even got a song for when you win the WWE Championship after you become Mr. Money in the Bank, and then Lana comes in and interrupts. And for a second, it's it seems that maybe I think I might. Hold on, before I get to that, I'm jumping all over the place. For a second, it feels, oh boy, here we go. Lana's gonna tell Aiden to leave, but no, she tells Aiden to save his voice because she would love to hear his wonderful pipes or something like that. She said something funny like that when she goes on to become Mrs. Money in the Bank because she has a match against Billy Kay next week, and how Rusev and Lana are looking to become the first ever Mr. and Mrs. Money in the Bank. Still teasing the heel turn or face turns. I think I am going to cancel them, even though I'm going to hate it if they all of a sudden turn face out of nowhere. But they still tease heel mannerisms despite the crowd being over for them. So I don't know. I just feel like it could happen at any moment. So maybe you guys can give me some light on that. Should we continue teasing it? Because eventually it will start being negative, but I guess that could be at fault at WWE. But I feel like it would be more at fault because of me, because they never really were teasing a face turn. It's just the fans are the ones who are kind of demanding it, and it could really come out at any moment. So, yes. 36 D- as we hype up the fact that coming up next will be Becky Lynch versus Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville for a Money in the Bank qualifier. Oh, that's not next. That's just hyped. The Royal Celebration is next. 42 solid D as we get the Royal Celebration. Carmella comes out. She hypes up herself. She says that, she may not get invited to the royal wedding, or she said that to Paige, never mind. But she was all, hyping up that she's better than the royal wedding and how the royal baby hasn't done anything, and they'll go and line up for her or him or whatever the royal baby's gender is. I'm sorry, I don't know. But they won't cheer for her. This leads to Paige coming out. Carmella's like, oh, just because you're butthurt because you didn't get invited to the royal wedding. They hype that up, which I'm sorry if a lot of you care about it, but me and a lot of other people just seem not to give two shits about it. I don't. Nonetheless, Paige comes out. She pretty much just puts over the fact that she will defend her title at Money in the Bank, and it'll be against Asuka, who comes out, and she just kind of does her pose and all that while Carmella leaves. And there you go. It starts the storyline between them, and that might be a short reign for Carmella because I can't imagine her. She'd have to get herself like disqualified or something is what I can see happening. 59 solid C rating for Renee Young's interview with Shinsuke Nakamura about the main event, where Nakamura plays off that he doesn't understand some of the words that Renee's saying, and then he just starts speaking perfect English, playing, pretty much showing that it is a whole facade, before putting over that, he will, it's a certainty that, not a probability, but a certainty that he will beat AJ Styles tonight and go on to pick the match stipulation. 59 solid C for that. Still lost heat, though, unfortunately. 30 E+, featuring Becky Lynch, Mandy Rose, and Sonya Deville, hyping up their upcoming match for the Money in the Bank qualifier, for sure this time. 38 D- for the triple threat match. Terrible matchup here. Becky Lynch goes over Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville in 11 minutes 55 seconds when Becky Lynch goes over Mandy Rose with the disarm her. She also carried the match in terms of in-ring performance. Mandy Rose was really off her game. Come on, Mandy. Cooled the crowd. Becky Lynch had an in-ring performance of a 42. Mandy Rose with a 29. And Sonya Deville with the 1 point below Mandy Rose, 28, making her the worst of the match. Lost heat for the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, too. I don't think I pressed it. There we go. 64 Solid C hyping up the AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura main event once again. 40 D minus as we hype up the Money in the Bank qualifiers for next week, which will be between Samoa Joe and Big Cass and Lana and Billie Kay. We then jump into a Samoa Joe promo on Big Cass, which gets a 50D plus. Pretty much him hyping up the match next week, talking about how Big Cass has always gone after little people, but what's he going to do when he's faced against someone much bigger than what he's used to or whatever. That might not have been exactly what he said. In fact, I hope it's not what he said because it sounds very perverted. Nonetheless, Samoa Joe cutting the promo, most likely going to go over Big Cass, I imagine, with Daniel Bryan maybe costing him in it or something. And if Samoa Joe goes in, he's my pick to win the Money in the Bank. I'm just putting that out there now. 38 D minus as we get a promo from the Iconics putting over their match against Lana next week. They do some wordplay where Peyton Royce names something and Billie Kay, says the first thing that comes to her mind. She says Billy numerous times. Billie says beautiful, something else, and then she says like champion or whatever. Just leading into the fact that Billie thinks she's going to win next week, which she might. She's probably going to win. I can't imagine Lana winning, but who knows? Maybe Lana wins and they do pull like a Mr. and Mrs. Money in the Bank kind of thing. Billie Kay is also getting better at her gimmick, so that's not too bad. I don't know why I said that so weirdly, but there you go. 63 Solid C, hyping up the actual match at the Money in the Bank, not the match that's coming up later on tonight between AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. And then we lead into the matchup between Shinsuke Styles and AJ Nakamura. Oh, that's funny. Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles. Bout that had good... Oh, that was funny. And about that had great wrestling and good heat. Shinsuke Nakamura goes over AJ Styles finally after 15 minutes 33 seconds by pinfall with the Kinshasa. Byron Saxton was pretty weak. Deserved better announcing, but did get the crowd interested again. Shinsuke Nakamura had an in-ring performance of a 63, while AJ Styles had an in-ring performance of an 80. Gained heat to the feud, and this is, I kind of hinted about this earlier in the video when we were talking, or when I was talking, I guess. But, so the way Total Extreme Wrestling works is usually after 3 matches, you kind of want to give them a cooldown period and not have them fight as much because the matches can after seeing it so many times, the crowd gets tired of seeing, repetitive things, which is honestly true. I mean, it's a major complaint that a lot of people say, we just saw this match on Raw, or we just saw this match on Smackdown. Why should I care about it now? So it is a major complaint that a lot of people have, and it is something that WWE has kind of done with Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles. For 2 guys who haven't fought since, their New Japan match back at Wrestle Kingdom, they've held it off for so long until WrestleMania, and then out of nowhere, they've already fought at the Greatest Royal Rumble. They've already taken each other on at Backlash, and they just fought each other here at on SmackDown. So that's 3 matches in our save. It should have already been 4 because of WrestleMania, but we weren't around for that. So 3 matches already in our save, and they're confirmed to have another match at Money in the Bank. So this is where I kind of wanted you guys to come in and see where you wanted to do this, because I honestly feel that we should keep this on. I never knew there was a way to turn this off until recently, but there is a way to turn off, apparently, the way, I don't know the word, the negative effect, I guess, of the 3-match dilemma, where you can turn it off and it doesn't matter how many matches certain superstar gets because you won't be dinged for it. I think we should keep it on because that is a real life thing. It is a real thing where people get drawn out on certain matches where they're just like, I don't care about this. I've seen it so many times. Move on already. It's kind of where John Cena and Randy Orton are at now, where people are just kind of tired of seeing those 2 fight, where they've held them off for so long now, which, maybe people won't be so tired of it now, but I imagine even if it did get brought up, people will be like, oh, great, this again. So I leave that up to you guys. If you guys want me to turn off the 3-match thing, I will go ahead and turn it off so we can have more than one or more than 3 matches between Nakamura and Styles, and their match at Money in the Bank doesn't get dinged. But I will leave it on if nobody comments or if you guys say keep it on. So there we go. So WWE could be in danger with that, but I leave that up to you guys. AJ Styles is improving in performance. Shinsuke Nakamura also improving performance. And believe it or not, we had a post-match dark match show. At least I don't know if it was actually aired on TV over in the UK. It wasn't. I don't believe it was aired over here on our TV in America. But I don't watch WWE on TV. In fact, I watch it on a website. So on the website there was a dark match link where it showed the dark match between Jeff Hardy and The Miz, which was for the United States Championship. So I went ahead and I put it in here since I was able to actually watch it. So the match itself gets a 43 solid D. I'd imagine the fact that there are no announcers affected this match. I mean, I don't know if that really did or would as much, but there are no announcers on this match because there were no announcers in the match itself. So I don't know if that dinged it as much, but Miz is getting better at his gimmick. Jeff seemed off his game. I didn't even talk about the actual match. Decent post-show match up here. Jeff Hardy goes over the Miz 13 minutes, 16 seconds later with the twist of fate, making his 3rd defense of the United States Championship. This is also a post-show match, which in my history never usually go over well because I'd imagine the crowd is pretty drawn out by now. Pre-show matches are usually the best way to go with stuff. Nonetheless, Miz had an in-ring performance of a 51. Jeff Hardy with a 56. Miz is also improving in his performance as we end off the show to get a... What? How? Huh? How? This time I know for a fact I put the pointless commercial break as a minor rating. I know for a fact it was a minor rating, so it should not have affected the show. So how in the blue hell did this freaking show get a solid B rating, a 79 B rating, almost an 80? We didn't even get like a 75 rated segment at all. Huh. I don't understand this at all. Okay. This is our best show yet. This is our best show yet. We didn't lose popularity. That's how I know it's our best show yet, because every show, besides, of course, 205 Live, which we can't lose popularity on, thank God, has lost popularity. We did not lose popularity. I don't know how this got a 79B, but it got a 79B. So, okay. WWE, I guess, is doing something right, because that show really shouldn't have gotten a 79B, but it did. I'm at a loss for words. I don't understand how it did. Someone maybe can clear that up in the comment section, but I don't even begin to understand. I thought it was going to be like a C-rated show. Like maybe a solid C, maybe even a C+. I didn't even think we would have gotten a B-, let alone a solid B, so holy shit. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Well, we are now officially caught up to the WWE. The next Monday Night Raw show is the next show that we will have to book, so that's pretty awesome. No more scrambling around trying to catch up as soon as possible. And there can be a lot more focus on the Invasion series now, which, of course, I know a lot of you guys care more about than this series, which, don't worry, I care a lot more about Invasion than this series myself, but this is just kind of an experiment more than a series to me. Nonetheless, that is going to be the end of this video. My name has been OMGWTF, LOLTWBRB. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor, leave me a comment, like, and subscribe if you have not already. And as always, don't forget to share this video with your friends, your Facebooks, your Twitters, your Instagrams. I don't give a dams. All the social medias out there. Help your boy out. In fact, if you know somebody who you think would enjoy my content, why don't you go ahead and share some of my content with them? Maybe this video, maybe something else. I don't know. And maybe help your boy out get some new subscribers around here. And speaking of helping people out, let me help my boys out and hopefully get them some new subscribers. As you can always check my description down below, list a lot of my associates. You can check my actual channel page, which shows like a bunch of other of my associates that I don't believe are in my description because they're not as active in the past, or I don't really know them officially. But nonetheless, you can check out my buddy Raging Yoshi, who he does like right now. He's doing like a Final Fantasy X Let's Play and a Persona 5, I believe, as well. Not 5. I always say 5. Persona 4. My boy Zach, who's doing the Twitch work, and my boy Senor Conqueso, who's he's doing his thing on YouTube. He's doing a whole bunch of stuff. I feel like it's an injustice just to say one thing he's doing when he's doing a whole bunch of other things. Smackdown. Feedback from viewers has been excellent. Apparently, we really struck gold with the show. I still don't know how. 205 Live, it was decent, although hardly spectacular. So there you go. That's there it is. Noam Dar. I think we've already issued a contract to him. I've already done the outro, so if you guys don't really care about anything else, then yeah. I don't even know why I did that. I can just check it the other way. What do we got here? Pat Patterson. I think I already went over some of these because of 205 Live. Yeah, and I didn't even delete the Dash Wilder one yet either. So that's pointless stuff. But I was gonna check something just a few seconds ago. Oh, I was gonna check to see if. Okay, yeah. So both their contracts are being renegotiated. Either way, that's the end of the video. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.